Hi folks, John O'Leary from Horse Problems Australia, and welcome to this week's podcast, which is about the subject of the effects of side reins on horses that are below established elementary dressage level, meaning that all novice prelim thoroughbreds off the track or newly broken in horses. You'll read on my website that in my opinion they diminish the mouth and ruin lots of mouths of horses, and they really give a false sense of a mouth, the mouth that you have when you haven't got a mouth. The other thing is that this particular horse you'll see feature in a veterinary podcast shortly also, one of them. And the other thing I wanted to talk to you about is the education systems in Australia of young kids, whereby they ride in a fashion almost always, not all, but the vast percentage of them ride as we call flexed off, meaning that if we're going left on a circle, we've got the horse's head hooked to the right in an effort to try and keep the horse out here. And as a result of correct principles of classical dressage not being taught to the youth of Australia, we have crippled horses that are in plague proportions throughout the country, and this is one of them. And this is one of 6 from one pony club that we've had in the last 2 years. Riding horses in a crooked fashion, not straight, and not inside leg to outside rein, which is what should be taught to the kids, you end up with horses that go around like motorbikes, sewing machine steps, never flowing, never over the back, hollow, upside down necks, and over time they become crippled in the hind end, and they are not equipped to carry us as riders and for them to perform the miracles that we ask them to perform, being animals that are simply not made to do it. So we must help them all we can. So if the horse isn't straight, i.e. meaning straight on a circle, one of the most important ingredients of all horse riding, and straightness means that the back feet fall in the front feet footprints all the time on a circle, which means that the horse is flexed and bent around your inside leg. And if the horse doesn't leg yield, the other facet that is not taught to pony club horses in this country, then you just can't get them straight, you can't get them bent, you can't get them to look around the left hand circle if you're travelling one or the right, because the horse will not move off your inside leg. So first of all, I just want to show you that if I pull on this horse's mouth here at 20 kilograms at the moment, it's got a very hard mouth and very resistant mouth, typical of the false mouths on horses with side reins. You get the false mouth. However, if I walk this lovely little girl around with no reins, it goes into a beautiful frame which we call the hacky frame in hacking competitions in Australia, caused by side reins. It's a head carriage that you have when you're not having a head carriage, isn't it, darling? The rest of the time we've got a neck like a llama and a big ewe neck and a diminished and loss of the top line, all the correct principles of dressage not happening. Therefore, when you ride such a horse around and you attempt to ride a circle on them, they are like riding a motorbike at the motorbike track, and it almost drives us insane to even have to ride one, because don't you bug. The horse automatically is flexed off the whole time, which pony club teaches, because that's the only way they can keep them out on a circle head hooked out to the right hand side, which is called flexed off. That's because the horse doesn't move off the inside leg. And this time I'll go again and I'll try and take the flexion, the flexion to the right, the correct way of travel, and we end up in the middle of the arena. In every arena, even a round yard. So my message to you kids, the Pony Club system in Australia, the executive of the Pony Club system, not your coaches, not your mums and dads, they are not doing their job. They have not given you a curriculum that teaches you the correct things like the kids in Europe get taught. So if your Pony Club coach does not know about the principles of inside leg and leg yielding, then you are producing crippled horses. And watch the next podcast on this horse and the next Pony Club horse that we're going to film today also, and have a look at the veterinary unsoundness that such riding causes, which in my opinion is cruelty to animals of the ones we're supposed to love so much. So the Australian Pony Club Association executive need to have a good hard look at themselves and get out of the British military system that is locked in the dark ages where Pony Club came from and leap into the next millennium. Catch you next week with the veterinary podcast with Mrs. HP on this horse and the next one. Thank you. Good girl, walk on. She's a lovely girl, yes she is, she's a lovely girl.